Good morning, E-Town. It's Friday, February 19th, and it's a great day to be a wild kid. Good to have everybody join us this morning, or for those of us who tune in at a later time when it's available on our website, good to have you joining us too. I'm Eric Witherspoon. I'm the superintendent here at Evanston Township High School, and I'm joined by Marcus Campbell, the assistant superintendent and principal of Evanston Township High School. And here we are in the week where we have had abundant snow. I won't try to be the weather person, but two things seemed to come through this past week. One was apparently Evanston in particular with lake effect might have had about the most snow in the immediate area. And I was also reading a story about the problems they're having in Chicago because they've had, this article said, 3 feet of snow in 3 weeks. As I drive around Evanston, you can convince me of that.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. Campbell, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the snow to some extent. You know, it feels like winter. We're having winter. It's nice to be cozy by the fire. I can feel the warmth. And so, you know, it's February, and I appreciate everything about it. It's terrible to hear what's happening in Texas, though.
Oh.
And I've got friends down there, so
you
my thoughts
know,
are
so
with
many
those
people
folks.
in other places are having such difficulty, and you know, people are dying because of the weather conditions. But you're right, Texas just sounds like a terrible disaster area.
Yeah.
So I think we all always try to remind ourselves we can be so thankful when we're doing well, but we can never forget those around us, whether it's in a neighboring community or just in another place.
Yep.
So thank you for lifting that up. I want to begin by just giving everybody a little bit of an update. You'll recall that this has been the week that we started our in-person experiences. And we did not intend to start them on Monday because that was a President's Day holiday, although our asynchronous Mondays will be days of lots of in-person activities, experiences for our students as we go to next Monday and on. But also, we were able, the very next day, on Tuesday, we had some of those experiences planned, and we got them going. And so even with the weather, and of course as the week has now progressed, we've been able to offer or literally implement more and more. I want to point out a couple of quick things though. First of all, I know that there were people who felt that, you know, well, this is all about athletics. And I do want to help everybody understand that athletics was all geared up to go because it's really run by the Illinois High School Athletic Association, and directly given information and direction through the Illinois Department of Public Health and the governor's office. And so when they got the green light to go with athletics, we, like every other school in the state, we were already geared up because all of that had been taking place. But what we did see at the same time is Illinois moved to phase 4 mitigation. And that really opened up more opportunities. And so we immediately planned and are now implementing these in-person experiences for our students. To give you an idea that it's not just about athletics, we literally have hundreds of students signed up now for the non-athletic activities, and they just keep signing up because it's just a rolling registration for the different things that they want to do in the days coming up. So we're very excited about it, and we really look forward to seeing how successful this is promising to be. One thing I'll remind everybody of, we've sent out information now that we are going to, on February the 24th, that's next week, we're going to have a panel discussion, a webinar, in which we're going to actually discuss and give a great deal of details about the in-person experiences. It's going to be at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday the 24th, but like everything else that we do here at ETHS, it will then be recorded, and you would have opportunities to go to our website if you're not able to view it at that time. I really encourage you to take a look at it. I think you're going to be pleased. Marcus.
That's right, Eric. We could spend this entire eTown Live talking about how the students' ideas and brainstorming have inspired the in-person experiences. But as you mentioned, next week we will have a webinar that will dedicate a full hour to include information about our in-person experiences, which includes our Safe Center for Online Learning. It will also include information about special education. It will have reflections on our first week of in-person experiences, and so we're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to highlighting the incredible collaboration that's been going on between our teachers, our students, and our staff, and being able to make this happen and to make it go. This approach is very unique to ETHS, and there is no roadmap for the in-person experiences, so it's very exciting to see how things are coming together. And when Dr. Witherspoon says we have hundreds of kids sign up, I mean, literally, that's not hyperbole. We have hundreds of kids who are signing up for these. In the meantime, enhanced e-learning has not skipped a beat. We are still in stride with that. A consistent, reliable schedule has been one of our guiding principles from the very start. And the fact that we are able to kick off in-person experiences in the middle of the third quarter just shows you how much our staff cares. As we've said so many times before, this is not getting easier. But there is no question that student well-being is at the forefront of everything that we're doing. So students, please check the Google site for the in-person experiences. You can sign up there. Check it often and make sure you sign up for any opportunity that you think fits with something that you would want to do. One of the most popular activities next week is tie-dye because students expressed an interest that they wanted to do that. This creates a sense of connection that has been missing for many. Mental health and well-being may look different in many ways, and this is just one approach. We also want to make it clear that any student who is not comfortable coming into the building for an in-person experience should not feel like this is required. In-person experiences are completely optional for students, and they are ungraded. There will also be plenty of virtual activities offered to students as well. Eric?
Great stuff. I'll just give one more shout out to all of the teachers, staff members, and students who are really volunteering and stepping up and wanting to make these in-person experiences overwhelmingly successful. So to everybody who's working on this and helping with it, thank you, thank you. I think that it is unique to ETHS, but I think we're really on to something with all of these various experiences that we're offering. The other thing I would like to reference is that the CDC at the end of last week came out with their new guidance for schools. Although I have the guidance and I have read it thoroughly more than once, and so has Dr. Campbell, I also watched the news reports on cable news and on the national news, because I'm always interested to hear what's being said and how it's being projected, to people who aren't as closely tied to this as we are. It's really interesting. Many of you have probably been seeing it. The news reporting is reporting a lot of confusion about these CDC guidelines. One put up a big map of the United States and said, in order to follow these, 90% of the schools in 90% of the counties across the country would not be able to open. So, while I really admire the CDC for trying to get their arms wrapped around this, there is a lot of confusion being reported. We are really sifting through it because we want to be sure we have a good handle on what it is. I will point out, and if you read it all, it primarily is aimed at K through 8 schools and classrooms. In fact, President Biden on a town hall on CNN earlier this week even just bluntly said when talking about the first 100 days that it's going to take longer regarding high schools because of the rate of transmission among high school and age students. So that's out there. And then on the Today Show, Vice President Harris was really grilled about the vaccine for teachers and being a prerequisite, and she avoided getting into something that I'm sure she realized that she shouldn't be speaking directly for the CDC. I only point that out to say this. We are very much into those new requirements. We are very much looking at how they apply to ETHS, but we also are very much into making sure we get it right. We get it right for our school and for our employees. And I will emphasize something that I just need to say again, that it's very important to me. 52% of our employees are non-white. Non-white people in this country are contracting this virus 1.4 to 1.7 times more than white people, and they are dying at a rate of 2.8 times more than white people. For me and for ETHS, being able to get our employees vaccinated is critical. I know there's a word being said, it's not a prerequisite. We're talking about high school level. We're talking about people who transmit like adults, and we're talking about adults in the building who are a higher rate of susceptibility. So getting the vaccine for our employees is vital. We're in touch with the local hospitals. We're in touch with the local Department of Public Health. They're doing the best they can with the supply they don't have, but we are very hopeful that between now and the 1st of March, everything we're being told is that our school employees should have a rapid array of possibilities for getting the vaccine. And we are sure hoping for that.
Thanks, Eric. It is reassuring to know that our planning efforts, even going back as far as the summer, has never contradicted the guidance of the CDC, the IDPH, or ISB, or other organizations that we closely monitor. I think something that Dr. Witherspoon is highlighting is that we're always doing our homework. We're always looking at the guidance, we're interpreting the guidance. We are processing that, we're looking at news reports, we're looking at our fellow districts, we're looking at this thing constantly, and we're doing our homework so that we know what right decisions to make as it relates to this crisis that seems to be ongoing. The recent CDC guidance also stresses the importance of offering remote learning option for students under any learning plan. ETHS is certainly prepared to meet this need for families of students who are at increased risk or have severe illness, who live in people who are high risk. With any learning model, we will continue this commitment. By the same token, the CDC addresses reasonable accommodations for staff if necessary. Again, this is not an either or for ETHS, it is a both and. The CDC states that all levels of community transmission, employers should provide reassignment, remote work, and other options for staff who have documented high-risk conditions or are at increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19. So we're not trying to choose between what educators need and what students need. We're working to meet people where they are and continue to make adjustments in the process. Eric?
Thank you so much for that, Marcus. And we are doing that, and we are going to be able to figure it out so that we can keep moving forward as the conditions allow. And I'm going to repeat what I said a moment ago. When we know that all our employees have had an opportunity to be vaccinated, it's going to be a game changer here at ETHS. And we're very excited that is nearing. So we'll keep you posted on that. Also, you can imagine families and seniors are curious and wanting to know more about our plans for graduation. We've actually been putting those out. I spoke to it last week when I spoke at a school board meeting. It has since been communicated on the senior page on our website, this information. But I just want to make reference to the fact that we're going to have two different ways to celebrate graduation this year for the class of 2021. We are definitely going to do a virtual graduation as we did last year. If any of you actually had a graduate or watched that, you know it was fantastic. It really was. And we got nothing but kudos and praise and pleasure back from seniors and families with really how personalized and how special it was. And we're going to do that because we want to make sure that we have a full-blown graduation available that everybody can participate in at the same time. But in addition to that, we're going to have an in-person graduation of some sort. And we're making those plans now. And I know somebody said to me, I demand that you plan an in-person inside graduation right now. People need to know. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't do that. We are only right now in Illinois in phase 4 mitigation. That limits the amount of people that can be in one setting to a maximum of 50 people. We don't know for sure if by the time we get to the late May, if we will still be in phase 4 mitigation. Maybe we will move to phase 3 mitigation. Maybe we would have gone the other direction and we're back down into tier 1 or tier 2 mitigation. We simply don't know. Nobody knows. So we're keeping all of our options open. But if we're in phase 4 mitigation, as we are now, we will have some kind of activity. We may have to split it up into 50 graduates at a time, but we will have some kind of in-person graduation where our students will be able to wear their caps and their gowns. So we'll keep you posted as it goes. We're making a lot of contingency plans. We're looking at most likely outdoor opportunities, to be perfectly honest with you about it. But what we're able to do to what scale will have to be decided much closer to that time. You can count on this. There will be not only a virtual, there will be an in-person graduation ceremony of some kind for the class of 2021. Marcus.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Eric. And just honoring the ceremonies and all of that, I just want to acknowledge the fact that we held our Black Honor Roll event virtually this school year. So I want to thank the Black Caucus for pulling that off. I appreciate you. And we're already looking forward to next year's event. So that was very, very exciting. So in that event, both myself and Dr. Witherspoon, we expressed how happy we were and how proud we were of our students who made the honor roll, our Black students who made the honor roll. And these types of special events are also focused on student well-being and our staff. We take so much pride in being able to do these things, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of efforts, and folks behind the camera here today can attest to that. And so thank you to everyone who is making this happen, and congratulations once again to our students and to our families and the extended family members for doing such a great job. Congratulations. We did send out quite a bit of information this week to students and families, so please check your email for some important announcements, reminders. One is progress reports are now available in HAC or Home Access Center. Spring conference sign-up is open and continues until February 24th at 3:00 p.m. So if you want to attend parent-teacher conferences, you can sign up there. Conference day is Thursday, February 25th. There is no school for students that day. Remember that students are welcome and encouraged to attend conferences with their parent or guardian. There is no school for students or staff on Friday, February 26th. So thank you everyone, and have a great day, and go Kids.